There are beautiful countries, and then there is Switzerland, a place where snow-covered mountains rise above the clouds, where emerald valleys seem untouched by time, where crystal-clear lakes reflect some of the tallest peaks in Europe, and where every village looks as though it belongs in a storybook. Yet Switzerland is more than breathtaking scenery. Behind the postcard views lies a remarkable story, a story of survival in one of Europe's harshest landscapes. A story of mountain communities that learn to thrive among towering peaks on Earth, from the dramatic cliffs of Lauterbrunnen Valley to the iconic summit of Matterhorn, from the tranquil shores of Lake Geneva. This is the story of Switzerland, the country many believe is the most beautiful place in the world. The heart of Europe. Nestled in the center of Europe lies a country unlike any other. Switzerland may appear small on a map, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for in extraordinary beauty. Surrounded by France, Germany, Italy, Austria, and Liechtenstein, Switzerland occupies one of the most strategic locations in Europe. Yet, despite being surrounded by powerful neighbors, Switzerland has maintained a unique identity. For centuries, mountains protected the people who lived here. The rugged terrain created natural barriers, and over time, those communities built a culture defined by independence, resilience, and cooperation. Today, Switzerland is known for many things: luxury watches, banking, chocolate, and political neutrality. But before any of those achievements existed, there were the mountains. The mountains shaped everything: the landscape, the climate, the culture, and even the national character itself. To understand Switzerland, we must first understand the Alps. The Kingdom of Mountains. More than 60% of Switzerland is covered by mountains. The mighty Swiss Alps dominate the southern and central parts of the country. These mountains are among the most spectacular in the world. Jagged peaks rise thousands of feet into the sky. Massive glaciers carve their way through the landscape, and deep valleys separate isolated communities. Millions of years ago, these mountains did not exist. The land that would become Switzerland was once covered by a vast ocean. Then, something extraordinary happened. The African tectonic plate began colliding with Europe. The collision pushed the Earth upward, slowly, relentlessly, over millions of years. The result was the formation of the Alps. Even today, the mountains continue to rise. The forces that created them remain active beneath the surface. Standing among these peaks, it is easy to understand why people are captivated by Switzerland. The scenery feels almost unreal, like a painting brought to life. Every direction reveals another breathtaking view, another dramatic ridge, another hidden valley, another mountain village perched high above the world. Lauterbrunnen, the Valley of Waterfalls. Few places better capture the beauty of Switzerland than Lauterbrunnen Valley. Often called one of the most beautiful valleys on Earth, Lauterbrunnen is surrounded by towering cliffs that rise nearly 1,000 meters above the valley floor. From these cliffs, waterfalls plunge into the valley below. There are more than 70 waterfalls here. Some appear as thin silver ribbons. Others thunder toward the earth with incredible force. The most famous is Staubach Falls, dropping nearly 300 meters from the cliff above. It is one of the highest free-falling waterfalls in Europe. During spring and summer, snowmelt from the mountains feeds these waterfalls. The result is a landscape filled with movement and sound. Water flows everywhere. Streams cross meadows, rivers carve through valleys, and waterfalls tumble from impossible heights. For centuries, travelers have been drawn to Lauterbrunnen. Writers, artists, photographers, and explorers. Many describe it as one of the closest things to paradise on Earth. Life above the clouds? High above the valley floor lies the village of Wengen. Unlike most towns, Wengen has no regular car traffic. Visitors arrive primarily by train. The village sits on a sunny terrace overlooking Lauterbrunnen Valley. From here, the views are extraordinary. Snow-covered peaks dominate the horizon. Green meadows stretch toward the mountains, and clouds drift through the valleys below. Life in Wengen follows a slower rhythm. Residents live closely connected to nature. The changing seasons shape everyday life. Summer brings hikers and mountain bikers. Winter transforms the landscape into a snowy wonderland. For generations, families have lived in these mountains, adapting to conditions that would challenge most people. The mountains demand respect. Weather can change quickly. Winters can be severe. Yet the rewards are equally remarkable. Clean air, natural beauty, and a sense of peace rarely found in modern cities. Grindelwald, gateway to the giants. Another legendary village lies nearby, the village of Grindelwald, surrounded by some of Switzerland's most famous mountains. Grindelwald serves as a gateway to the high Alps. Towering above the village are three legendary peaks, Eger, Munk, and Jungfrau. Together, they create one of the most iconic mountain skylines in Europe. The north face of Eger is particularly famous. For decades, climbers considered it nearly impossible to conquer. Its steep rock walls became one of mountaineering's greatest challenges. Many lost their lives attempting the ascent. Today, climbers from around the world continue to test themselves against these mountains, not because they are easy, but because they represent something deeper: adventure, challenge, and the timeless human desire to explore the unknown. Jungfraujoch, the top of Europe. If there is one place that truly feels above the world, it is Jungfraujoch. Known as the top of Europe, Jungfraujoch sits more than 3,400 meters above sea level. Reaching it requires one of the most remarkable train journeys on Earth. The railway climbs through mountains, passes through tunnels carved directly into solid rock, and eventually emerges into a landscape dominated by snow and ice. Here, glaciers stretch toward the horizon. The air becomes thinner, and the world feels different. Standing at Jungfraujoch is like stepping into another realm. The silence is profound, the scenery almost overwhelming. Endless white snowfields merge with distant peaks, and the scale of nature becomes impossible to ignore. For many visitors, this moment becomes unforgettable, a reminder of just how small humans are compared to the forces that shaped these mountains. The Matterhorn. There is perhaps no mountain more famous in Switzerland than Matterhorn. Its nearly perfect pyramid shape has become an international symbol, appearing on postcards, advertisements, and countless photographs. Rising above the village of Zermatt, the Matterhorn stands as one of the most recognizable mountains on Earth. Yet its beauty hides danger. The mountain's steep slopes and unpredictable weather have challenged climbers for generations.
The first successful ascent occurred in 1865, but tragedy struck during the descent. Several climbers lost their lives. The event became one of mountaineering's most famous stories. Today, the Matterhorn continues to inspire people from around the world, not only because it is beautiful, but because it represents the spirit of exploration itself. A mountain that demands courage, respect, and determination.
Zermatt, the village beneath a legend. At the foot of the legendary Matterhorn lies the village of Zermatt. Unlike many modern destinations, Zermatt has chosen to protect its environment. Most gasoline-powered vehicles are not allowed here. The result is something increasingly rare in today's world: peace. The sound of rushing streams replaces traffic noise. Fresh mountain air fills the streets, and the towering Matterhorn watches over everything. For centuries, life in Zermatt was isolated. Long winters often separated communities from the outside world. Families depended on farming, livestock, and the resources they could gather locally. Today, tourism has transformed the village. Visitors arrive from every corner of the globe. Yet, despite its popularity, Zermatt has managed to preserve much of its traditional charm. Wooden chalets line the streets, historic buildings remain standing, and mountain traditions continue to shape everyday life. Walking through Zermatt feels like stepping into another era, a place where modern convenience exists, but never overwhelms the landscape.
Interlaken, between two lakes. Few locations in Switzerland are as perfectly positioned as Interlaken. Its name literally means between lakes, and that is exactly where it sits, nestled between Lake Thun and Lake Brienz, surrounded by some of the most dramatic scenery in Europe. The town has long served as a gateway to the Alps. Travelers arrive here before continuing into the mountains, but many quickly realize that Interlaken itself is worth exploring. The lakes are breathtaking, fed by glacial water. Their colors often appear almost impossible. Brilliant turquoise, deep emerald, crystal blue, depending on sunlight and weather conditions. These waters originate high in the mountains, where glaciers slowly melt during warmer months, carrying minerals that give the lakes their remarkable appearance. For centuries, these waterways connected communities, provided food, and shaped local life. Today, they continue to attract millions of visitors every year. Lucerne, Switzerland's storybook city. If Switzerland has a fairy tale city, it may be Lucerne. Located on the shores of Lake Lucerne, surrounded by mountains, Lucerne combines natural beauty with centuries of history. Its medieval architecture remains remarkably preserved. The famous Chapel Bridge stretches across the river, decorated with historic paintings, making it one of the most recognizable landmarks in the country.